Right, let's do something different then today. SABC Current Affairs Youth Show Expressions is in Wennen, KwaZulu-Natal on a project to build a home for a child-headed home. The partnership is between Expressions and the Department of Correctional Services. Earlier on, the show's presenter, Mxolisi Masango, caught up with businesswoman Shawn Mkhize and Correctional Services spokesperson Singabakho Nxumalo.
Well, thank you very much for that, Flo. So, seeing that, we've been seeing a whole lot of bad news, whether it's on social media or just on the normal day-to-day, we thought we'd today bring you this feel-good story that comes out of a small town at the heart of KZN of Wennen, Escotini, Sa Gwamadondo. That's where we are today. Now, just to give you a bit of a background on the story, now, our sister current affairs show, Expressions, right here on the SABC News channel, got a heartfelt plea from a family here in Wennen where they were requesting some assistance, seeing that, they're a large family, from a young lady named Unomsa Zungu, who lives with 9 of her other siblings at this house that we at today. And, as part of their letter, they reached out to Expressions saying that they would like some assistance, possibly getting a house as well as getting some food, because this is, of course, also a child-headed household. So Expressions took it upon themselves, of course, to mobilize normal members of the community as well as some good Samaritans who came onto the table and said, look, we are willing to assist you guys to go as far as possible in assisting this family. So today, this is where this feel-good story comes from. And as you can see behind us, if I can just ask the cameraman to pan for you, it's already a hive of activity where you're already seeing members from correctional services, officials, as well as inmates alike that have joined forces right now to make sure that this particular project comes to life and flourishes. And of course, amongst those good Samaritans, we have Umama Shawn Mkhize, affectionately known as Mkhize, as well as Ubaba Singabakho Nxumalo, who is the national spokesperson for correctional services here in the country. Mkhize, I'm going to start with you. Just quickly give us a gist as to why we're here today.
Okay, I think we are here today because I had an outcry. Expression has contacted me and they told me a very sorry story which has touched me about the Zongo family, and that story has touched me on one way. When you've got a mother that have just lost her life in front of you, and there's kids that are sitting here with no mother and nobody and no one to look at, and thinking about how the first child was affected even in her matric, I felt like assisting and doing one thing here as I'm celebrating my 20 years, and this will be one of the 20 houses that I'll be building. I think I can come and contribute and do something good for the poor child.
Okay. Baba Nxumalo, let me also bring you in onto this conversation now. There's been so much that has been said. You've been, fending off interview after interview, especially where, there's been some talk around inmates and why should they be part of such a project in terms of doing things. And you've been quite unapologetic by saying it's part of a rehabilitation process. We need to get these guys out there, but they're here today for this special cause. Why did you think it was also important to be involved as correctional service?
What brought us here is the mandate of corrections, which is all about rehabilitation.
Yeah.
When we say people offend society, they come to us to be corrected, be armed with necessary skills so that when they're out there, they can make a difference. And we say they do not have to wait up until they have served their sentence, to full, so that they can make that difference. Where there are opportunities, let them do that. And as correctional services say, look, we've got the manpower. We've got so many inmates armed with, relevant skills, accredited training, but we may not have the financial muscle. And when we get partners who say, look, we're more than ready to assist you, let's walk this journey together. We say that's the real essence of rehabilitation. Let's go out there, let's make a difference, so that when people have served their time, then there will be those who say, look, I'm more than willing to trust these people, let me give them a second chance because I've seen them working, I know of what they're capable of.
Okay, Singabakho Nxumalo is the National Correctional Services spokesperson, as well as Shawn Mkhize, affectionately known as Mkhize. And of course, we will be continuing with this conversation flow on SABC 1, that is Expressions, your number one youth current affairs show. So it's back to you in studio.
All right, thanks, Mxolisi. I'd argue that we're the number one current affairs show. All right, so that's what's happening on Expressions. Of course, great work there by the team, and of course, in conjunction with others, they're building a home for a child-headed home in KZN. All right, well.